Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another Stardew Valley achievement guide. In this video, we are going to be unlocking 2 thumbs up. You can get 30 gamer score if you can see a movie in Stardew Valley. And the concept is pretty simple. Purchase a ticket at the movie theater, walk in the front door to see the movie, and the achievement will unlock. The trick, of course, is getting into the movie theater because the building doesn't exist at the start of the game. There's a number of hoops that you have to jump through to get the movie theater built, and then from there it is very straightforward to get the achievement. The movie theater can only be built after completion of the community center in its totality, all of the bundles, or doing all of the equivalent JoJa Corporation community upgrades. If you're going the JoJa route, things are, as usual, easier and can be solved with money. After doing all of the other JoJa community upgrades, then you can go talk to Morris and give him 500,000 gold, and that will turn the JoJa Warehouse, which was the community center, becomes the JoJa Warehouse when you finish all of the JoJa quests, and then it will turn into the movie theater after paying this 500,000 gold. And if you do that, then this is very easy. Just jump to the chapter where you purchase your ticket. Very near the end of the video, you're basically done. The movie theater gets built overnight, purchase your ticket, walk in, and you're done. If you're going the community center route, things are a little bit more complicated. Once you've completed the community center, now you're waiting for the first rainy day after you've done that. And what's going to happen is the night before that rainy day, remember you can check the weather report for the next day, so you'll know rain is called for on the following day. That night, before the rainy day, you will see a little cutscene. A lightning bolt will strike the abandoned JoJa Mart store, and that is your cue that the quest is now available to start. What you need to do is that following day, go to the old JoJa Mart store, and you'll see the door is kind of cracked and broken. There's a hole there. Go through that to enter into the abandoned JoJa Mart, and you're going to find a Junimo inside there, and they will have one final bundle, the missing bundle that we need to complete. This bundle is definitely the most difficult one of all of the previous ones. It far outclasses those in the regular community center bundles, and it has 6 options, of which we need to complete 5. And those include a silver star bottle of wine. Yes, quality does matter here. It has to be a silver star bottle of wine, Dinosaur Mayonnaise, a Prismatic Shard, Caviar, a gold star void salmon, and 5 gold star ancient fruits. Again, those are the 6 options. We need 5 of them, and I'll go through each of those in a little bit more detail on how to get them now. Silver star wine is a little bit more involved. First thing that we need to do is have a fruit that can turn into wine, and any of the orchard trees that bear fruit will do this. Of course, star fruit works. Of course, ancient fruit works. It doesn't matter what type of fruit or what type of wine we're making, but we have to be able to make wine. So get that fruit, put it into a keg, and it will age for a day or 2, depending on what it is, to turn into regular, low quality, no star wine. But that's not good enough yet. It needs to be silver star. So we also need the basement or the cellar upgrade to the house, and we have to have casks down in there, and then you can put that regular basic quality wine into the cask until it's ready as a silver star. And now things won't pop out at silver star. They will continue to age to gold star and iridium. So when it's silver star, you can go down and use, of all items or tools, oddly enough, it's a hoe to hit the cask, and you can see there'll be a silver star on the front of it. So you'll know when it's ready for this. You'll see the silver star, hit the cask with a hoe, the wine will pop out, and now you'll have your bottle of silver star wine. Dinosaur Mayonnaise, the most difficult part here is going to be getting a dinosaur egg. They are pretty rare from a lot of the available sources. The best way, I think, to get them is to get them as a loot drop from a full-grown dinosaur. In the Skull Cavern mines, I believe, there will be floors that are just populated with tons of the flame-shooting dinosaurs, and I think they have about a 10% chance to drop an egg. So that's your best bet, but you can also get these from digging spots and a couple of other places, Ginger Island, but that's very late game. So go until you get your first dinosaur egg, but by all means, do not turn that into mayonnaise. Take it and put it in the incubator in an upgraded coop, and that will hatch your own baby dinosaur. And then once you've raised that up and it's gotten old enough, it will then lay eggs for you regularly. Take one of those and put it in the mayonnaise machine to turn it into mayonnaise. That first egg is super important to get the dinos, so you then have a steady stream of eggs going forward, which you can of course turn into more dinos, and then you'll have a little bit of an economic machine built up. You do need to donate a dino egg to the museum, but don't do that with your first one either. Use it to make a dino, then you can do what you want with the rest. Get your mayo, get your donation to the museum once you've got that first baby dino. It's going to be a similar story for the Prismatic Shard. The first one you get, do not use for the missing bundle. Instead, use it to make the Galaxy Sword, which is the best sword that you can get for most of the game until very, very late game. How you get a Prismatic Shard? Your first one is always going to be the toughest one to get, and then after that, they'll kind of seem to rain from the sky. Not quite, they still stay a little bit rare. Mostly you get these through mining. Once you've reached the deeper levels of the regular mines, you can get these to drop from those like purple stones, have a really high chance to drop them, I think if you're below floor 100. If you can do fairly consistent deep cavern, skull cavern runs, if you can, save up a bunch of steps, get down to level 100, the chest at 100 has a chance to drop a Prismatic Shard, so that's one way to do it. But once you're at level 100, if you're dropping bombs and blowing up iridium ores, you're probably going to run into these without too much trouble. You can get 3 or 4 Prismatic Shards on a decent run down through the skull cavern. So it's not easy to do, but it's not super hard to do as long as you dedicate yourself and build up to it. But again, use the first one to get the Galaxy Sword, use the second one to donate to the museum, and then your third one can be for the missing bundle. Gold Star Ancient Fruit, again, has a couple of steps here, and the first and most difficult step is going to be finding the seed that we need to plant. So from dig spots, you can get the ancient seed and it will drop as an artifact, but even better is getting these to drop from insect type or bug type enemies in the regular mines. It's a low % chance, but you can get a ton of these. You can take out a ton of these bugs every time you go through the mines. Just if you're passing one, swipe with the sword, take them out, and they can eventually drop the ancient seed artifact as well. The other way that you can get these is through the seed makers. There's a very small chance, 0.5%, something like that. Usually when you put a fruit into the seed maker, you get the seed of that fruit, but there is a very small random chance that you will get an ancient seed from it. I have seen this happen, so it's not like it's super, super rare, but it's not common. Once you have the artifact ancient seed, you have to turn that into the museum, into Gunther, and he will then give you, I think it's a recipe and a regular ancient seed that can actually be planted. I would highly recommend waiting until your greenhouse is repaired, and then you can plant that seed in the greenhouse. After 28 days, it will be a mature plant, and then every 7 days after that, it will produce fruit. And so, common strategy here, you take that fruit, put it into a seed maker, it makes more seeds. Plant those in the greenhouse. Harvest the seeds, put those in the seed maker until your greenhouse is full of ancient fruit plants. And now you've got a great source of money. Every 7 days you go in there, you can harvest the whole building, you can put them into kegs. You've got endless supply of ancient fruit wine, which is a great source of making money. But what we need is 5 of those fruits, not in a keg, not in wine. They'd have to be gold star quality. And the higher your farming level when you're doing the harvesting, the better chance you'll have to get that upgraded quality. It's not too difficult. I didn't do anything special. I didn't take farming buffs or anything like that. But my farming was probably around level 10 when I did this. Go in there, harvest a bunch, and after 1 or 2 harvests, you'll have 5 gold star ancient fruits. The gold star void salmon can be caught in the witch's swamp, and really the only tricky part about this is how do you get to the witch's swamp. It's part of a quest chain for the wizard, and that quest chain can only be started after completion of the community center or the JoJa Mart, which of course we're doing anyway because that's a requirement for the missing shipment bundle to show up. So not a problem. At about the same time that you're ready to start the missing bundle, you should get a quest from the wizard. The first part is to go and get, I think it's like his mysterious ink from a location down in the sewers. And once you've done that and returned it to him, now you can get access to the witch's swamp, which is through a teleporter that's up at the train station. So go through there, take the little teleporter pad, and then you're on a small map there with lots of water and a narrow path down the middle. Fish in here and you will very easily catch a void salmon. And the higher your fishing rank when you do this, the better chance you'll get a gold star. I think every void salmon I was catching was gold star quality, so shouldn't be too big of an issue to get that one done. And last but not least is Caviar. Caviar requires you to catch a sturgeon, which is probably the most difficult part of getting this item. To catch a sturgeon, you have to go to the mountain lake, either in the summer or in the winter, and it's kind of a rare fish. I had a lot of trouble getting one of these on the line. I think I went for a full day and caught one sturgeon exactly. Your odds of catching them are better on a sunny day versus a rainy day. You want to cast your line farther from shore. All of these things will improve your odds, but it's still a rare catch, and it's not an easy catch. Again, if you're level 10, if you're catching the legendary fish, it's not at that level, but it's certainly not a level 1 fishing, go out and just get yourself a sturgeon kind of fish. Once you've caught at least one sturgeon, the next thing you need to do is have a fish pond to put it in. And of course, Robin can make these for you for some stone, some green algae, and some seaweed. She builds it in a day or two, and then you can take your sturgeon, drop it into the pond, and it will start to multiply and eventually produce sturgeon roe. You need to take one of the sturgeon roe, put it into a preserves jar, and after about a day or so, you will then have caviar come out of the preserves jar. Almost every other fish roe that you put in just gives aged fish roe. The sturgeon is the one exception. It puts in sturgeon roe and pops out the needed caviar. And that's it. So pick 5 of those 6. If there's one that you're like, oh, that sounds like a pain, or I don't know, I'm way far away from that one, skip it. Do the other 5. You get to pick whichever ones you want here. Take those 5 to that Junimo in the rundown JoJa Mart and deliver them to complete the shipment. You will then see a little cutscene, and overnight, the movie theater will be built. Go back to your house, go to sleep. The movie theater will be built overnight, and the next day, now we're ready to go. All you have to do is travel to the movie theater, buy a ticket at the front gate for 1,000 gold, and if you want, you can invite a friend to purchase a second ticket and give it to them, and they will go to the movie with you. It's a great way to build up friendship points with someone. You can only go once a week, so you can't like abuse this, but it's a nice little once a week boost that you can give. Completely not necessary for the achievement. If you're just going for the achievement, you can just go to the movie by yourself, get your ticket, walk in the front door, and if you're bringing the friend, great. And when you walk through the door with the movie ticket cashed in, the achievement will unlock. And that's how you get the 2 thumbs up achievement in Stardew Valley. Hope the video was helpful. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.